Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So, we continue to read Bhagavad-Gita, book written by His Glorious Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, and today we continue to read chapter 2, and we will read verse 71, 72, and we will start read first chapter. Let's start. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Verse 71. Translation. A person who has given up all desires for sense gratification, who lives free from desires, who has given up all sense proprietorship and is devoid of false ego, he alone can attain real peace. Purport. To become desireless man, not to desire anything for sense gratification. In other words, desire for becoming Krishna conscious is actually desirelessness. To understand one's action position as eternal servitor of Krishna without falsely claiming this material body to be oneself and without falsely coming propria- pro, proprietorship over anything in the world. Yeah, in the world is the perfect stage of Krishna consciousness. One who is situated in this perfect stage knows that because Krishna is the proprietor of everything, everything must be used for the satisfaction of Krishna. Arjuna did not want to fight for his own satisfaction, but when he became fully Krishna conscious, he found because Krishna wanted him to fight. For himself, there was no desire to fight, but for Krishna, the same Arjuna found to his best ability. Real desirelessness is desire for the satisfaction of Krishna, not an artificial attempt to abolish desires. The living entity cannot be desireless or senseless, but he does have to change the quality of the desires. A materially desireless person certainly knows that everything belongs to Krishna, Ishavasimidam Sarvam, and therefore he does not falsely claim proprietorship over anything. This transcendental knowledge is based on self-realization, namely, knowing perfectly well that every living entity in an eternal part and parcel is an eternal part and parcel of Krishna in spiritual identity, and that the eternal position of the living entity is therefore never on the level of Krishna or greater than him. than him. This understanding of Krishna consciousness is a basic principle of real peace. We have to understand that everything uh, is Krishna's honor, and we have to use everything for satisfaction Krishna, of satisfaction of Krishna. And next, verse 72, the last verse on this chapter. Translation: That is the way of the spiritual and godly life, after attaining which a man is not bewildered. If one is thus situated even at the horror of death, one can enter into the kingdom of God. Purport: one can attain Krishna consciousness or divine life at once, within a second, or one may not attain such a state of life even after millions of births. It is only a matter of understanding and accepting the fact. Khatwanga Maharaja attained this stage of life just a few minutes before his death by surrendering to Krishna. Nirvana means ending the process of materialistic life. According to Buddhist philosophy, there is only a world after the completion of this material life, but Bhagavad-Gita teaches differently. Actual life begins after the completion of this material life. For the gross materialists, the gross materialist, it is sufficient to know that one has to end this materialistic way of life, but for persons who are spiritually advanced, there is another life after this materialistic life. Therefore, ending this life, if one fortunately becomes Krishna conscious, he at once attains the stage of Brahman Nirvana. There is no difference between the kingdom of God and the devotional service of the Lord. There is no difference between the kingdom of the Lord, of the God, and the devotional service of the Lord. There is no difference. Since both of them are on the absolute plane, to be engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord is to have attained the spiritual kingdom. In the material world, the activities of sense gratification, whereas in the spiritual world, their activities for Krishna consciousness. Attainment of Krishna consciousness and during this life is immediate attainment of Bhagavan, and one who is situated in Krishna consciousness has certainly already entered into the kingdom of God. Brahman is just the opposite of matter. Therefore, Brahmi sthiti means no, not on the platform of material activities. Devotional service of the Lord is accepted in the Bhagavad-Gita as the liberated stage, Sagunan Samatityayitan Brahmabhuyaya Kalpate. Therefore, Brahmi Sthiti is liberation from material bondage. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura has summarized the second chapter of the Bhagavad Gita as being the comments for the whole next. In the Bhagavad Gita, the subject matters are Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga. In the second chapter, Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga have been clearly discussed, and a glim, gli, glimpse of Bhakti Yoga has also been given as the contents for the complete next. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purports for the second chapter of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita in the matter of its contents. So we end the reading. We end the second chapter. Haribol. And now we will start the third chapter. Karma Yoga, chapter 3, text 1. Short, very short. Purport, very nice. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3, verse 1. Translation. Arjuna said, O Janardana, O Keshava, why do you want to engage me in this costly warfare if you think that intelligence is better than fruitive work? Purport. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna, has very elaborately described the constitution of the soul in the prayers chapter, which a few to delivering his intimate friend Arjuna from the ocean of material grief. And the part of realization has been recommended, Buddhi Yoga, or Krishna consciousness. Sometimes Krishna consciousness is misunderstood to be inertia, and one with such misunderstanding often withdraws to a secluded place to become fully Krishna consciousness by chanting the holy name of the Lord. But without being trained in the philosophy of Krishna consciousness, it is not advisable to chant the holy name of Krishna in a secluded place where one may acquire only cheap adoration from the innocent public. Arjuna also thought to solve of Krishna consciousness or Buddhi Yoga, or challenges in spiritual advancement of knowledge as something like retirement from active life and the practice of penance and austerity at a secluded place. In other words, he wanted to skillfully avoid the fighting by using Krishna consciousness as an exu- excuse, excuse, but as a sincere student, he placed the master before his master's because his master and questioned Krishna as to his best cause of action. In answer, Lord Krishna elaborately explained Karma Yoga, or work in Krishna consciousness, in this third chapter. So, on this verse, we read, that we have to use everything in our life in Krishna consciousness, in satisfy of Krishna, if we want to have a real peace. We have to remember that Krishna is honor, um, and his is everything is have to use in service to him, and he is and he is the master of everything. So we have to do everything in our life thinking about him and thinking how I can to satisfy Krishna of Krishna, how I can to pleasure to him, how I do this for Krishna's pleasure. We have to remember about this. If I eating the soup or rice, I have think about this is mercy of Krishna, this is prasadam, and by this way I remember about Krishna. And if I thinking this, if I sing the song, I have to remember that Krishna give me, take me, that Krishna give me this voice, this is air, and now I can sing, and I can, and I have to sing for him. I have to sing his spiritual name, and I have think how I thinking how I can to sing beautiful, more beautiful uh, for pleasure to Krishna, for satisfy of Krishna, and also I have to we have to change his spiritual name every time and remember about him and never forget about him. So, and this chapter, third chapter, Krishna will talk about karma yoga or work in Krishna consciousness, and we will read about this on the next time. So that is all, and now it's all for today. Thank you for watching this video till the end, and see you on the next time. Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.